I got the part. I got kind of how most parts get given. I got sent this script and went into the room. I kind of. Sometimes auditions feel terrible because you go in and they have no idea who you are and they're just kind of like checking another name off the list. This, they had seen something that I'd done. I think Al had watched the Carrie Diaries or something, and so coming into that, it was a nice experience in the room because they already kind of had me in mind. And so then. And I was running across town. I had just done an audition with Cameron Crowe earlier in the morning. And so I was kind of riding high off this amazing meeting with him. And then I drove across town and I was really late to the meeting, but they waited. And so I was kind of the only person there. So it just, all the stars felt like they were aligning. Even though I was late night, I hate being late. It was like, it felt special. It was kind of, I think it was like 7 p.m. or something, and the sun was setting. And so I've never told this story in this way before. So it's the beard. So I went in there, and and it's something about it resonated with me. I mean, Will being season 1, he's very much the fish out of water. He's the outsider. He's never felt at home really. And I've definitely felt that. I mean, I remember growing up before I met any actors, I was like, I don't fit in with the sports kids. I just didn't feel like I fit in. I was very much a loner. And then at a certain point, I felt like I found my tribe, and I started meeting people that connected on the same wavelength that I did, and that was such a nice feeling to not feel alone. And so that played into it a lot, kind of feeling uncomfortable in my own skin for years, and then having to dig down inside and find where the strength is inside. And it really, like for Will, it really started. He lost his mom, and I've gone through some really close things, and that caused me to have to dig in and say, what am I living for? When you experience that sort of pain, what's life about? And so, but I mean, it sounds super deep and weird. It's like we're talking about a fantasy show, but that's what I always look for. I'm looking for, like, that's what kind of attracted me to it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at its core, that's what I'm shooting for with Will, is to find that core of truth that I've felt inside of me.
And of course, for people on the fantasy show, it's reality to them.
Completely. So. Yeah.
So between the first, go ahead.
You brought a sense of innocence, to the first season, and the change. I'm really curious to see how that change happens in the second season after the traumatic events of the end of the first season, and how that goes forward in the second season. Care to elaborate at all?
I mean, that was something that I thought about a lot. We had a lot of time between filming the 2 seasons, and but it wasn't until maybe a month or 2 before that I even saw a script for season 2. So I didn't have a lot of time with it. So I had a lot of time to ruminate on what I thought I would do. I didn't realize we were going to take place a year later. So there was a lot of things that I finally got this script for season 2, and some of it aligned with what I thought. Some of it I thought, I don't know about that. But then through the process of letting that marinate, it really came down to, I didn't know how different I wanted to play Will from season 1 to season 2. But because it is a year later, and I played with that feeling of despair, the feeling of like I'm doing my best, but what am I here for? And that was really interesting to have the same character, but then really dig into that. Think about, like, when life starts getting really messy and we start changing as humans. What is that? Are we the same person? Can we find love again? Can we find hope again? And so finding that through him as well was really therapeutic and empowering in my real life as well. So I then had to find the despair and then find the hope. That was really powerful.